Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Power Network. I'm Amy. So, today we have a very special edition of Highly Strange Days. So, that means Shannon's with me too. We've got a Florida man story, and it involves a kidnapping by Gerald the Dolphin. Today's Florida man case takes us underwater to a forced labor camp. Deputies found a man soaking wet along the Sanibel Causeway, furiously drawing blueprints in the sand. He claims he was kidnapped by a pod of dolphins while swimming off of Fort Myers Beach. According to him, they escorted him 40 feet below the surface to an underwater construction site. When asked, well, how did he breathe? He said, Gerald handled that. And you don't question Gerald. I don't know, guys, with the way the world is going nowadays, could this actually be true? Well, we've got to dig into it. I'm rolling the intro while the algorithm brings in the rest of the power crew. Shout out to my replay crew. Love you, babies.
Welcome to Highly Strange Days. I'm Amy.
And I'm Shannon.
My neighbor Jennifer sits all alone. She dreams of flying up to the moon. And she thinks it's the perfect night for dreaming and make believing.
I think it's a perfect day to talk about Gerald the Dolphin. This story fascinates me. And Kim says, hi, Kim, by the way. I mean, anything is possible considering humans can't get to the bottom of the ocean. And yeah, and considering there's more land in the ocean than there is land, like, you know what I mean? There's more square footage of ocean than there is land. And we haven't discovered all of land. And there's also this weird little fact that, did you know we're not allowed to talk to wild dolphins? Did you know that humans are not allowed to talk to wild dolphins? Well, let me bring on my good friend Shannon, and she can let me know if she knew that. Hey, Shannon, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Amy?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
Good.
Did you know that we're not allowed to talk to wild dolphins? It's illegal.
I was not aware of that. Did they say why?
Well, hold on a second. I am Today we're coming to everybody on well, I'm in YouTube jail or Facebook jail. So today we're coming to you on Instagram and YouTube, and the Instagram feed looks weird. But anyway, hi everybody on Instagram. I don't know what's wrong with the feed, but anyway, they so in doing the research and finding out why we can't talk to wild dolphins, I do have some things that we're going to take a look at, and they're going to let us know. But personally, I just think that our government knows more about things that it's not willing to share with us. Because why would we be allowed to not talk to wild dolphins, but we can talk to them in aquariums and stuff? Or, like see them and interact with them that way.
I think it's really strange that they specify that we can't talk to them.
Yeah, we can't
because they talk back.
We can't interact with them. We can't interact with them. So they're not really saying specifically talk to them, but you can't interact with them. So in the way that humans interact, we talk.
But it's okay to interact with the ones that are in captivity.
Yeah.
So when people pay money to swim with the dolphins, is that in captivity?
Yeah.
Oh.
Then I saw a really funny comment. You know how we covered the case about how the elites were capturing the God,
Mermaids?
mermaids and eating them, and somebody said, well, they don't want the dolphins to tell the mermaids, or the mermaids to tell the dolphins to tell us what's happening, or vice versa. Like, they don't want it to
Oh,
get out in the world what the humans are doing to the ocean creatures.
dang.
You know what's crazy too is, like, just like 2 or 3 months ago, us having this conversation would seem like, even me talking about conspiracies and whatnot, it would even, like, not seem possible. But yet us having this conversation right now feels like it could be possible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I come with both
Absolutely.
sides, friend. I come with both sides as always. So we got
Well, good.
that. All right. So let's get our screen all situated. Like I said, today we're coming to you on YouTube. We're coming to you on our Feel Good University and the Power Network. And we're also coming to you over on Instagram, because I got myself in a little trouble over on Facebook. So I'm in.
But it was worth it.
It was so worth it. It was so worth it. I do it again. And you know what's so funny was, okay, so let me just, okay, Junie. All right, I'll calm it down. But it did feel good. I had some satisfaction. Hold on, I'll get my screen up and I'll share it. So I'm a little bit outraged by the fact that there was this Marine that went in front of the a board and was, stating using his free speech, and the government used such force on him that they literally broke his arm, and then they detained him, and they wouldn't tell him where his family, where he was. So in essence, and then they kidnapped him, right? Because I guess that's
Right.
what we do in our the United States these days, is we just kidnap people, we eat them, we just do whatever we want. So that's I put up a little thing about it, and this person said to me, well, he deserved it because he was wearing his uniform. And I said, oh, well, that's what we do in the United States. Like, we probably should have, I said, graped him and ate pizza, right? But I didn't use those words. I didn't use the play words that we have to use on the YouTube streets, and I got myself in trouble. So I got myself in trouble until April over on Facebook. So we
Until
are now,
April?
yeah, till April.
That's a long time.
I know. Who you telling, sister? But it is what it is. I mean, yeah, it's getting
Yeah,
bad.
it was worth it.
The censorship is getting bad. It just, like, it is. It is in our world, especially if you're living in the United States. It's a real, like, drag. So
Problem. Yeah.
okay, so but getting back over to Gerald the Dolphin, I had seen this. He popped up over on the Tiki Taki streets, and I saw this video of him. And I thought we must cover this because it was just fascinating to me. Let me make sure I
Well,
got
yeah,
my.
that and they supposedly found Atlantis or something like Atlantis in the Middle East.
Recently, they did, yeah. And they're also saying too that
Gerald sounds pretty cool.
Egypt is in Tennessee.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
finding Egyptian ruins and stuff like that in Tennessee. It's just like the world is upside down. It's just really upside down. I've been watching a lot where they're talking about, like, World War II was mainly about tearing down monuments from, ancient days to hide what the earth and the power and the energy and what the ancient ruins, and, like, yeah, it wasn't really about the mustache man, because you can't even say that guy's name either. So anyway, but
Really?
let's get back to Gerald. So here's Gerald. We'll do another live if you want to talk about all that, because I've been off in the woo woo. I can't even do true crime anymore because I'm just so far into this stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
I can do true crime. Like I've been looking at true crime, but I'm looking more at true crime like are in the Epstein files, like these unsolved
Mhm.
cases. I've noticed that like John Benet Ramsey, Madeline McCants, and a few other little missing kids are in the Epstein files. So I'm like very fascinated in what, like the missing people and kids that are in the files. But that's like goes into because the file is all about satanic worship and stuff like that, and that's the woo, right? So I don't know. I'm fully
Yeah,
in my
true.
woo.
Mhm.
Okay, but anyway, getting back to Gerald, here is a Florida man claims that the Dolphins force him to build an underwater world.
I bet you thought this story couldn't get any crazier. I've got your crazy. He claims he was down there for 3 days helping them build their underwater city. 3 days! And after those 3 days were up, he claims that they told him that they were satisfied with his work, so they took him back to the surface. But they told him, we'll be back. We'll be back for you for phase 2. I'm sure if you're still here watching the video, you're like, oh, he was most likely on or drunk. And that was what I thought. But when he got to the hospital and they ran all the tests, this is what's absolutely nuts. Yes, he was dehydrated, but there were no alcohol in his system, and there were no head contusions or blunt forces to the head or any signs of any kind of mental illnesses. They did find marine particles and seawater in his lungs that indicated that he had been at a deep underwater level for a long time without any lung damage. Now, if you're wondering, why him? Why did they choose him? It's because, and he says this in his statement, they chose him because he has a master's degree in aerospace engineering and is extremely knowledgeable in underwater technology. And that's the reason Gerald chose him. And I'm not going to lie, I believe him. I've always heard that it's illegal to communicate with dolphins, but what on earth do you call it when they kidnap you to go build their underwater cities?
And so I did a little research on this to just kind of get the full story on exactly what happened. And so what happened was in Fort Myers, Florida, a Florida man was arrested after deputies found him soaking wet along the Sanibel Causeway, standing on the shoulder of the road, drawing blueprints in the sand. According to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded early Monday morning after a motorist reported a man who appeared disoriented, barefoot, sunburned, and sketching what looked like architectural plans directly into the sand. When deputies arrived, they found 33-year-old Ricky James Hallowell wearing only swim trunks and visibly exhausted after what he claimed had been 3 days underwater. Hallowell told deputies he had been kidnapped by a pod of dolphins while swimming off Fort Myers Beach. He said the dolphins surrounded him in the water and escorted him roughly 40 feet below the surface to what he described as an underwater construction site. According to Hallowell, the dolphins communicated through a series of clicks and sounds that he gradually learned to interpret, and they needed him to help design and build structures for their underwater community. He said the dolphins were organized and that the project had a foreman, and the dolphin he referred to, the foreman was the dolphin that has been referred to as Gerald. Deputies asked how he managed to survive underwater for 3 days without drowning. Hallowell reportedly gave him a direct answer. Gerald handled that, he said. I didn't ask questions. You just don't question Gerald. So investigators noted that Hallowell had drawn an extremely detailed blueprint in the sand before deputies arrived. The design reportedly included condominiums, a town square, and a recreation center laid out in a way officers described as detailed enough to be concerning. One responding deputy later added that the blueprint even appeared to include zoning sections for underwater structures. Hallowell told deputies the dolphin eventually released him after they were satisfied with his work, but warned him that Gerald said that he would be returning for phase 2. He was transported for medical evaluation. Gerald the dolphin was reportedly unavailable for comment.
So So, how are they? I mean, if I was him, I would stay away from the water for the rest of my life.
Well, people are doing funny things. Like somebody just made this.
Yeah.
Now get him back to the kingdom! Wait, they can't breathe under here! Oh, this motherfucker can breathe, don't let him fool you! We're about to work your knuckles off, bitch! I need to get back home, I can't move these big rocks! Work harder, human! How the fuck am I even breathing under here? I bet she's already went back to her ex by now. I've got to get out of here. You ain't going nowhere yet, buddy. Soon we'll have a whole farm of you alien fuckers down here. Tartaria for life, bitch! Now go bring us more of you. You destroyed our kingdom and it's time for you to fix it.
So people are maybe thinking that the Dolphins are getting back, and for those that think that like, oh, this is just a bunch of hooey, this is just ridiculous, then why are they searching?
On Gerald the Dolphin story, this is like right where he says Gerald took him. Sanibel Causeway to your left, but I'm randomly staying at this hotel, and this helicopter is literally like so low, and the helicopter came out of the island that right there behind the helicopter. It's completely deserted. There's nothing there, and he just came up from over there.
So that's happening. And here's a little bit more. The funny things people are saying.
Okay.
All hands, hoist the colors high.
Bro, that genuinely stressed me out. People are not scared enough of the ocean, and I'm here to fix that. Welcome back to another episode of Why I Stay on Land, where I give you some self-inflicted thalassophobia right before bed. I have made 2 episodes on this whole Gerald thing, the Dolphins kidnapping that Florida man. For y'all that are new here and haven't heard about the story in general, you guys have been flooding my DMs to talk about it, so I'll talk about it again. Basically, boom, Florida man is found, he's disoriented, he's badly sunburned. Police are like, bro, what's wrong with you? And he was like, I was kidnapped by some bottlenose dolphins where they brought me like 40 meters under the ocean and forced me to build condos and homes underwater. Mind you, homeboy is tested. His mental is tested. He is not crazy. He's tested for substances, none found. They found certain marine particles all in his lungs. They found like a coral that's really deep in the ocean etched into his hand like he was working. And the police asked him, so how did you breathe underwater? He said, Gerald handled that. Gerald? Who is Gerald? That's what I want to know. Turns out, Gerald head honcho. Turns out the name Gerald means ruler with a spear. Hold on, wait a minute. This is making too much sense. He told Gerald, Gerald, I'm going to tell everybody. I'm going to tell everybody what you got me doing. I'm going to tell everybody you took me. Gerald said, no one's going to believe you. And that's what he told the police, right? Here's the thing, as ridiculous as that sounds, like I cannot say I believe it and I cannot say I don't. Because the thing is, people have been studying dolphins forever. We already know how smart they are. We already know about the dolphin-assisted births. We already know how we are literally discouraged from speaking to them in their natural habitat, but we can talk to them in captivity. They speak through echolocation. Like they are so smart. And there is so much to dolphins, bro. So I'm asking y'all, you see that ocean in the beginning of this video? You're telling me, like, do we really know what's going on in there? You have all that ocean. There's more ocean than land on the earth. So you're telling me that Gerald doesn't exist and homeboy was not building condos down there? How do you know? And if he wasn't down there building condos, why did they send out a freaking helicopter to look in the exact place that Florida man said Gerald was? So now here, hold on. I know we think outside the box over here. If they're looking for Gerald because they know that the Dolphins be talking to the sirens and they don't want people to know okay, I think I sound a little crazy.
The one that said that that the Dolphins would talk to the sirens and they don't want people to know, and that's when I immediately thought about the elites eating the rich or the Dolphins, and they of course would not want that out, right? But that's kind of getting
Right.
So here's another one talking about like, why is the government investigating this?
Not believe this dolphin shit, but the government believe it, because if the government didn't believe it, the government wouldn't be out there looking into this shit. It's something going on with that goddamn dolphin. The government believe that shit. Look at this.
He said they forced him to help build underwater structures. He told deputies the Dolphins communicated with him using clicks. He said the group had a leader named Gerald who somehow helped him breathe underwater. Possibly
At least Gerald helped him breathe
The
underwater.
man
He
spent
ain't
3
let him
days
just
working on what
die.
he described as cities, towns, and condo-like structures. When the Dolphins were satisfied with his work, they sent him back to the surface and told him they
Just
would
like
return for
Florida
phase
people.
2.
What's interesting too is, you know how the Simpsons, they predict everything?
Yes.
Well, here is the Simpsons.
No way.
Clown from the sea. Ow! Ow! Hey, what's the gas? Bottlenose bruises, blowhole burns, slipper prints. This looks like the work of rowdy teens. Lou, cancel the prom. It begins. The dolphins are upon us, and only this old sea dog knows how to. You're not sure.
Oh, you know, there it is in the Simpsons, so it must be true.
Must be. Dang.
So over on Reddit, I wanted to know what they were saying about this Florida man case.
Uh-huh.
Here is the thing, and they were saying that I heard the FBI is investigating this also. I'm not surprised he got arrested when it's illegal to even try to communicate with dolphins. Dolphin assisted births used to be a thing and had great benefits to the mother and child, and were also banned. It makes you start to question it all, which I didn't know there was such a thing as dolphin assisted births. Did you?
Me either. That makes me want to look it up.
Yeah. Well, I did look up the information about, is it illegal to interact with dolphins, and yes, indeed, it's generally illegal to interact with wild dolphins in the United States under the Marine Mammal Protection Act of 1972. It's prohibited to feed, touch, swim with, or harass wild dolphins, with violations potentially resulting in fines exceeding 11,000 and up to a year in prison. So and here's some people talking about it.
Interact with a wild dolphin. And I mean interact in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Don't try and talk to it. Don't try and elicit a response from it. Don't feed it. Don't touch it. Don't nothing. Don't even look at that bitch. Now, they say this is to protect dolphins and humans alike, and I'll buy that because they're wild animals, okay? But why can't I even try to speak to it? Why can't I even just try to elicit out of it? I don't know how dolphins sound. The fuck, they don't understand me, and I don't understand them, right? Right? It is a felony to even attempt this behavior. There's even a snitch line for it. Dolphins are too smart. They are self-aware. They have shown signs of empathy because they'll help out other creatures, including human beings. They can communicate amongst themselves in a language that we don't understand at all. It's the clicks and the, you know what I'm saying, those high-pitched noises. Some of them our ears can't even pick up on. They are the second smartest creature on Earth behind us. Do they have a conscience? They live in an environment that we haven't explored 80% of. We don't know 80% of what's down there in that ocean, but you know who does? Dolphins. And we are allowed to talk to them.
Yeah. Here's another one.
Legal to talk to dolphins in the wild? No, seriously. I was very shocked when I heard about this. So that's why we're going to talk about it. It's not because dolphins are rude or because they're tired about humans asking them about Atlantis. It's because of the Marine Mammal Protection Act of 1972. This law makes it illegal to feed, touch, chase, and yes, even interact with wild dolphins without a permit. And this includes talking to, whistling to them, pretty much if you're close enough to disrupt their natural behavior. Why? Because we're annoying. And also because interacting with dolphins can disrupt their feeding patterns, make them way too comfortable around boats, and even make them aggressive. Dolphins are insanely smart, but they're also vulnerable. Human interference puts them at risk. You could be at risk for fines. So if you see a dolphin in the wild, admire from afar, just respect the wildlife.
I mean, it's okay to put them in aquariums and pound on the glass and just basically put them in a bathtub, but in the, out in nature, we got to respect them.
Right. Yeah. Goodness. This reminds me a little bit. I think it was a King of the Hill episode where they were swimming with the dolphins.
Oh.
And one of the dolphins got a little amorous.
Yeah, they do that. They're very amorous dolphins.
Yeah, and they actually injured. I think it was Bobby, maybe. Anyhow, they injured the dolphin on the show injured the person because they were overly amorous.
Well, I've seen other stories where the dolphin has tried to have intercourse with the human, and I'm sure there's probably, I saw in the comments there was somebody said some guy was having sex with intercourse, or I don't even know what I can say on YouTube, but was interacting with a dolphin in an inappropriate way in captivity. In captivity is the key word that they use there. In captivity.
Oh.
So
okay.
And yeah, so I'm sure people do weird stuff because people do weird stuff with every animal, which is called, there's a word for that. So anyway, I was looking at, and I look at animals like I look at little child humans, they need to be protected. Humans who do that kind of shit need to be put away, right? That's not right. I look at animals just like I look at the little humans, what's happening to them, and it's no. So, but humanity is one step away, I saw, from communicating with dolphins. You feel like reading a little bit?
Yeah, I could do that. Just a moment. Let me zoom in. Okay. Dolphins are among the most intelligent and sociable animals on Earth, and now it appears that scientists have found a way to communicate with them. A new large language model of an AI system could soon allow humans to communicate with dolphins, with the technology set to be unveiled in the coming months, reports Popular Science. The new language model is called Dolphin Gemma, and its companion system is called Cetacean Hearing Augmentation Telemetry Chat. The language models are expected to debut in the coming months after scientists conduct tests to see if the new technology can translate and mimic some of the most complex mammal vocalizations. If successful, the scientists' work could be the culmination of more than 4 decades of work, documentation, and conservation efforts. The project, carried out by scientists from the Wild Dolphin Project, or WDP, has spanned the last 40 years. During the study, the team collected underwater audio and video footage documenting a community of Atlantic spotted dolphins in the Bahamas.
I thought we'd take a quick little peek at it here.
Sure.
I've been waiting for this for 40 years.
Denise has the world's largest collection of dolphin vocalizations. I'm a research scientist at Google DeepMind. Dolphin Gemma is the first LLM trained to try to understand dolphin language.
Dolphin Gemma will input sounds.
Once a dolphin starts doing a vocalization like a whistle, it can try to complete the end of it.
When you're doing a Google search, right, it's finishing your sentence, right?
Dolphin Gemma has Denise's data and sort of encapsulates a lot of the knowledge and experience she has in it. But it's also small enough we can train it with more data as we get it. we can actually keep on fine-tuning the model as we go and hopefully get better and better understanding of what the dolphins are producing.
We do not know if animals have words. Dolphins can recognize themselves in the mirrors. They use tools, so they're smart, but language is still the last barrier. So feeding dolphin sounds into an AI model like Dolphin Gemma will give us a really good look at if there are patterns, subtleties that humans can't pick out.
If dolphins have language, then they probably also have culture.
You're going to understand what priorities they have. What do they talk about? The goal would be to someday speak dolphin, and we're really trying to crack the code.
So that's a little on, and the results where the scientists were able to match sounds with behavioral aspects. I had read that they're getting closer and closer to picking up the language of the dolphins and the whales too.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
So we're going to now turn, and of course, mainstream media is starting to debunk this Florida man story. They're not so happy with it. There's over on the Gulf Coast News, there's this viral dolphin kidnapping arrest story is fake, Lee County deputies say. A viral social media claiming a Florida man was arrested after being found soaking wet and drawing blueprints in the sand along the Sanibel Causeway is false, authorities say. The widely shared post claims Lee County deputies arrested the man and details an unusual story involving dolphins allegedly forcing him to design an underwater city, but the Lee County Sheriff Office says the incident never happened. Officials told reporters they have no record of such an arrest, and the deputy named in the viral story does not exist. So, I went a little bit deeper and went over to Snopes.
Yeah.
Here's a fact check, and they said, was Florida man kidnapped by dolphins? We dived into the rumor. So rumor has it the dolphins also forced the Florida man to build an underwater city, but the claim was purposely deceitful. In early March 2026, a Florida man claimed he was kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city. A fate circulated online around about a Florida man who allegedly claimed all this, that a pod of dolphins kidnapped him and forced him to work on building an underwater city. One Facebook post archive featuring the rumor was shared more than 47,000 times. It included a photo of a sunburned man reportedly named Ricky James Hallowell and a description of what apparently happened to him. The caption read, and this is, we've all read this, so he was taken underwater. He communicated through a series of clicks. The head honcho's name was Gerald. That he had drawn an elaborate blueprint in the sand that deputies described as detailed enough to be concerning. He told officers he was released because the dolphins were satisfied with his work, but Gerald said they'd be back for phase 2. Responding, Deputy Sean Oakley told reporters, I've been with the sheriff's office 11 years. The blueprints were the part that got me. He had zoning. Hallowell had transported for medical evaluation. Some men build cities on land. Ricky Hallowell claims he built one underwater for dolphins. And honestly, the blueprints were hard to argue with. And there's the report on Facebook. And so the claim also appeared on Threads, Reddit, and Instagram. Some posts featured a screenshot purportedly showing an X post by Detroit-based news media outlet WXYZ News. The alleged post included a photo of the same individual and the caption, Florida man claims he was kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city. Snopes readers also searched the site wondering if the story was real. In short, the image and the tale of the man kidnapped by dolphins originated from a satirical social media account. The sheriff's department referenced in the story also confirmed the story was not real. A reverse image search revealed that a network of social media accounts called the Dude Humor Report first posted the satirical claim on social media, archived. The Dude Humor Report's Facebook bio described the account's content as satirical. Dude humor, where breaking news meets pure entertainment for wild headlines and viral stories. The page features satire and parody stories that are exaggerated, developing fictional, created for entertainment purposes only. The Lee County Sheriff's Office, which was cited as the law enforcement agency that responded to reports, the man who said to be kidnapped by dolphins shared the Dude Humor Report's Facebook post with a tongue-in-cheek denial that read, "While living in Lee County is paradise, we can confidently confirm the underwater real estate market has not been tapped into yet. We checked with their newly implemented underwater construction investigation team and learned the dolphins of our oceans deny any involvement. Disclaimer, no dolphins were harmed in the making of this humor."
Yeah.
So the Dude Humor Report originally posted the story, a screenshot, making it appear as if WXYZ7 News posted about the story on its X account with the name. So the account had screenshots, had a circular icon with a blue check mark on it. And this is a real news station, as we both know, because we're from the Well, did you know that?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So while the station's logo in the satirical post was almost identical to the real Detroit-based outlet's icon, the logo in the satirical post featured a major error. The fake logo in the satirical screenshot included writing that vaguely resembled 500 or SOO instead of ABC as it appears in the authentic logo. Snopes found no evidence archived of the authentic WXYZ Detroit X account posting the satirical story about the Florida man being kidnapped by dolphins. Google search results also uncovered no examples archived of the news media outlet reporting on the fabricated tale. Let us note here, whether you agree with something being described as satire or parody is a matter of opinion. Snopes is in the business of facts. We label these rumors based on creators' description of them. Your call on whether you agree. And so there's also one more thing I want to submit for your approval, and then we can talk about it until we can decide what we think. Okay. So
Okay. Sounds fantastic.
This that I found.
Human language. Dolphin could speak. May 7th, 1965. Our specimen was a 15-year-old male named Gerald. He was very smart, very strong-willed. But as Gerald reached breeding age, he became less focused, agitated. His natural drive was distracting him from our work. You know, when a dolphin reaches sexual maturity, there's no stopping them. And then one day I was in the water with Gerald when he got that glass.
Hey, Amy. You realize that that's Saturday Night Live, right?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And so I turned to Mary and I said, why don't I just yank him off real quick?
Is this legit?
At first I wasn't sure it was ethical, but we had to. For the science.
It was 8 years ago.
So we're gonna just bring it home with a little Saturday Night Live, and what do you think?